Welcome to the Underdog Jets podcast with Wayne Chrebet, and we're back after a 1-week hiatus. Wayne, how's everything tonight on this NCAA championship night, Kansas and UNC?
Good. Looking forward to a exciting game tonight. Didn't picture these two teams in the final, but it's going to be an exciting one. I'll be happy for Hubert Davis to get his first championship as a coach. But I am a Kansas fan as well, so I'm just hoping for a good game.
Yeah, I've never been a big Duke guy, and so I'm really not. I'm crying. I'm not really crying too much because I loved Hubert Davis as a Knicks fan in the '90s, and it's been a good tourney. I think UNC is actually going to pull it off for some reason tonight.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I was a big Nick fan, obviously, so watching him, it's nice. Be nice to see someone new win it. They haven't won it in a while.
Yeah.
So I didn't want Gonzaga to win or any of those teams. So I like an underdog, and UNC is I think they're a 4-point dog. So it's a live dog.
How about St. Peter's? Yeah, did you follow St. Peter's through it?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see many of the games. I saw the highlights, but it's a nice story. Everybody likes the Cinderella story. If you look at statistically, the amount of players, scholarship guys, how many people are in their school, it is, David and Goliath, and they took down some big teams.
Good old Jersey City coming through to the Elite Eight. You gotta love it when a small school does their thing like that. So on the docket tonight, we're gonna briefly touch on the Tyreek Hill trade because we haven't discussed that yet, even though it's old news. We're gonna review some Drake London highlights, and we won't get too technical with the film. We got Joe Blewett who does a great job there, so we'll roll the film while people on YouTube could comment and chat and ask you questions. Start asking questions around 8:15, 8:20. We'll be with you until about 8:30, 8:35, and maybe some World Series picks if we have enough time because opening day is a few days away here. So Tyreek Hill, as we all know, Jets fans, I think it was about an hour and a half, not even. They were giddy because the word was, and it was legit. Joe Douglas swung for the fences. It came down to the Dolphins and the Jets for Tyreek Hill. It happened suddenly, happened out of nowhere. People think it happened because of Devontae Adams' deal with Vegas. In the end, both trade packages were solid. Jets were giving up both seconds, and I think it was their third. But Tyreek Hill chose his home state of Florida, his offseason home. He was born in Georgia. I kind of thought he would go that way. Florida is a popular choice for pro athletes, and Jets fans were, kind of heartbroken, even though it was sort of a, home run swing. What are your thoughts on the Tyreek Hill miss here?
I think it's for the better. I think, what we got out of it is that obviously Joe Douglas is willing to put some packages together to make some moves. I think he's a little overrated to begin with anyway.
Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, they're playing with a quarterback. Like, I'd rather have Devontae Adams for the money than for Tyreek Hill. Is kind of a one-trick pony. I mean, Mahomes just throws it up to him as far as he can. Plus, I'm a little pissed the way he, handled it. Obviously, he had no intentions of going to the Jets. Right. 0% chance he was going to go to Miami the whole time. They probably used the Jets to sweeten the deal a little bit, but at least it shows Joe Douglas is willing to make moves. And obviously, the rumor mill is now A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf, and I'd rather have the two of those guys. They're younger. They're certainly going to be a little cheaper, but definitely alpha one receivers. So hopefully get one of those two, but. We're excited for 15 minutes, and I think you should still be excited that Joe Douglas is going to make a move like that.
Yeah, and like you said, if they use the Jets as leverage, who cares? When you have a chance to get a guy like this who's a game breaker, and yeah, I agree with you to a degree in terms of the one-trick pony, but the way the league is played now, it's just you can't stop him sometimes. How he'll work with Tua will be interesting, but the quote was, "Who? The Jets. I knew I was going to pick Miami no matter what." Tyreek Hill said, "I'm basically from here. I'm here all the time. This is home." End quote.
That's right. So, and I don't blame him for that. Shoot, $100 million. What's he going to make? An extra $13 million? Not enough to pay New York State tax.
Right.
Yeah. So listen, good luck having Tua throw the ball 60 yards, 70 yards downfield. It's not gonna happen.
No, 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 no. Yeah,
He's gonna be a frustrated person. And I'm thinking week 4 or 5 before he's looking for a trade or something stupid like
yeah.
that.
You could understand a water pistol for an arm for a 38-year-old, but not a guy in his fourth year in the league. You know.
Yeah.
So Tyreek Hill goes to Miami, and it's interesting. It's a sign that Douglas is in on the veteran receiver. So, like you said, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf. There were even Debo Samuel rumblings.
Right.
I titled Blewett's last live stream with Debo in the title. You know, not thinking the Jets realistically have a chance or Debo's going anywhere, but that would be, to me, of the three, Debo would be the guy. More realistically speaking, Brown or Metcalf. Do you have a preference of one of the two?
I always like Metcalf. Obviously the hustle he showed on that play run down Buda Baker, and he's just a tough guy. Seems like a good kid. I remember him, crying and calling his mom after he ran that 4.3 at the combine. You see what kind of person he is. But Debo, he might be the best out of all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you have? 7, 8 receiving touchdowns, 7, 8 running touchdowns. I mean, kid's a special talent, and as tough as they come. But any one of those three would be, a great addition to the team.
Yeah, I agree. And Elijah Moore tweeted something or liked a tweet yesterday referring to AJ Brown, who doesn't know what's happening right now in Tennessee. They were, of course, teammates at Old Miss. And funny, Metcalf also Old Miss. He missed more by a year, I think it was. So all
Right.
these Old Miss receivers might be on the move. It's interesting, but yeah, I agree with you. Brown, Metcalf, you can't lose either way.
Right. Yeah. And you never know who else is going to become available. But as far as the receivers, there's a need for it, especially if they don't go after, even if they get one, they can still go after Drake London or one of those Wilson or any of those young receivers. So
Yep.
listen, Joe's in the game. He's willing to make some moves.
Yeah, he wants a veteran receiver. I think he's going to draft a rookie, no doubt about it. And that gets us to Drake London. We won't get too technical with the film, so we're going to break out some highlights on Drake London, kind of roll through it with no audio. We could stop it if you see something that you like, discuss it. For you guys watching on YouTube, ask Wayne questions at any point, comment about Drake London, and we'll take it from there. And to wrap it up, we'll get some of Wayne's World Series picks as opening day starts this Thursday. By the way, with rookies, do you have a preference yet in terms of London, Wilson, Burks, or are you still undecided?
Well, the film you sent me today of London, some of it I hadn't seen yet, and what I did look at so far, I'm pretty impressed with. It reminds me of a Mike Evans kind of guy. Is
Yeah.
the best comparison I can come up with. But just looking at the combine and the pro day stuff, I mean, there's a couple candidates there. I don't think they're going to take one of 4. I mean, obviously it would be a 10 or trade back. But
Right.
yeah, the London stuff he sent me is impressive.
Yeah, London, he's just got that perfect body, 6'4". He could high point the ball, and I think it meshes well with the other weapons on the team. I'm starting to come around to what Joe Blewett's saying, where London's the best prospect, but I'm still split between him and Wilson. It's a matter of choice, I think, in the way the league is played. But let's roll the film here and see what Wayne has to say about London.
Listen,
He's
he's
there
not
he is
only
in the
running
slot,
deep routes. I
right?
mean, he's running short routes, out routes, hitches, but you could see when he gets the ball, he's digging. I mean, he
Yep.
turns north south. He's not messing around. And like when they get his hands on it, it's taking 2, 3 guys to bring him down. So you got to like a guy that fights for the extra yards.
And there was I was watching film. He gets feisty with blocks too.
Yeah,
Against Arizona, a cornerback on the first drive ripped his helmet off because he went after it hard on a block, and it happened again near the goal line. So I like a receiver who gets feisty when he blocks.
yeah, he's tough to bring down too. And what I like is the lack of like really crazy celebratory, like
Right.
in your face, where to hand the ball to the defensive back after he gets the big play. I like that. like that he's not
Barry
doing that.
Sanders type.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, look at the size difference he has on this cornerback. It
And look
might
at the
not be like that
look,
in the league, but this kid is high points the ball,
yep.
catches the ball away from his body. And certainly, like I said, can run more of the route tree, as opposed to a guy like a Tyreek Hill.
Without a doubt. And my first initial instinct when I watched him, Wilson, and Burks was I thought Wilson was the better route runner. I think London's the better route runner in terms of especially in terms of reading defenses. I just think Wilson's feet are quicker, which will serve him nicely in the NFL, but he's so much more raw than London in terms of reading defenses. Like here, he doesn't have to read anything, just has to beat one-on-one, cornerbacks inside. I mean, it's does no
Yeah.
separation. The ball's not great, and he still comes down with it.
The thing about it is he attacks the guy's technique. He gets into him. A lot of guys will make their move, one step off the line of scrimmage. You got to get into the guy's, coverage. You can't, in a sense, make a move on air.
Yeah.
He does that. He takes away the cushion and he makes the cornerback uncomfortable. And then he's real good at his turning the guy's hips. And once he turns their hips, he's already by him. And the best thing about that is the NFL is the back shoulder throw, which I think this guy would be great at. I didn't see too much of it. What I saw was great, but he'd be great at that in the NFL.
Yeah, I wish we had a better view of this play, but this route is tremendous. I mean, he stems it to a perfect spot to turn that corner's hips, and the route is just so smooth for a guy that size. And then he even drifts inside because he knows he has to. So it's just a great route.
Well, if you look on that, as soon as he gets through, he swims over. So now his shoulders in front of the DB shoulders. So now he's got leverage on him right away. You'll see it like with his right arm. He'll swim right over that guy's inside left arm, and now he's beat. And if there's a halfway decent throw, watch his right arm. He
Yep,
takes
right
right over.
there.
Yeah,
Yep. And then
that's
the
big.
left
And that
arm.
guy 5 is done. He's on his heels already, and he's by him.
Yeah,
And if there's
and the
no,
hips
yeah,
return to the sideline.
yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
a lot of guys might make a move too, premature, but he gets right into the DB's, stance, and look at him. I mean, he's still digging.
yeah, yeah. He could run after the catch too. He's not the fastest guy, but that's okay with that size. He's a long strider, so uh, very pleasantly surprised with his smarts when reading defenses, when attacking one-on-ones.
Yeah, and like I said, he's running a variety of routes, um, and a variety of different catches. Like he's coming back to the ball,
Yep.
hands away from his body. It's tough to get around someone that size frame. Basically, yeah, you're either getting a pass interference, trying to go through him, or you got to make a great play to not have them complete that pass.
Yeah, he does that great coming back to the ball.
Yeah,
Even
see
there,
that?
like if he doesn't come back to that ball and he drifts, it's
Yeah.
probably picked.
If he tries to catch that in the end zone, it's knocked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One-on-one fade. It's just
Yeah.
again another high point. Yeah, he's got what you want and what the Jets need
This is
out
some of the
wide.
stuff we saw from Denzel Mims coming out from Baylor.
Right.
That was impressive, but I guess we've talked. Okay, he's trying to make a play on every catch. I know that sounds stupid that not everybody would be trying to do that, but that is the case. Not everybody's trying to, get as many yards as he can in the NFL. I hate to say it, but not everybody's like that. This kid is
Right.
taking the hits, getting downfield, driving his legs. I'm impressed with him. I haven't watched this much film before today, but I'm very impressed with him. I hope he's the guy that the Jets go after in the draft.
Yeah, and he never to your point, he never alligator arms it. He's never afraid of contact even before the catch. I mean, right there into double coverage. What was it? A post into they're too deep. Tampa 2. He knew there was gonna be a second guy, and he's still no fear.
Yeah, I just think that, yeah, I tell you, man, it looks like Mike Evans.
Yeah.
the way his body language and how he runs around and stuff like that. And it's pretty good comparison. If you can get someone as good as him, look at see, he's still fighting, man.
My
That's the
initial
second time his helmet
concern
came off. Yeah,
my initial concern was availability because he got injured last year, but it was a broken ankle. I mean, anyone could break their ankle.
right. Yeah, big difference that from a broken ankle or a sprain that's supposed to be, you know, 4 weeks and he's out for 6, 7 weeks. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, I like him. He's got a little sass to him, little attitude to him, but you kind of need that in New York.
All day. How does he find that right there?
Yeah, he sits down in the zone.
Yep.
Well, like I said, he catches it and turns north and south and gets as many yards as possible. Yeah, that's top of the first round pick talent right there.
Cover one, man, single high safety. And that's the thing. If you have a London on the outside, defensive coordinator's in trouble right away.
Yeah,
Mike Evans. If you go single high, you're risking it every single time.
yeah, he's good at hand fighting too.
Yep. Yeah, that's not an easy play, folks, to come to the inside like that.
Yeah. So this is our guy, man. We need to try to get him at 10. I'm convinced after watching this amount of film on him.
Well, the soft plan is to go Garrett Wilson next week, but
Okay.
we'll see what happens. I mean, that's a ridiculous high point catch right there,
Yeah. So and
and then
some
he
of
one hands it.
some of these throws look comparable to the throws Zach Wilson had last year, as far as giving the receivers opportunities to catch the ball. I
Right.
think it would be a good pairing.
Hey, look at this. He one hands it, and the other thing, like to your point, he's really smart against the coverages. I mean, inside shade, outside shade, leverage. He always seems to make up for it,
Right.
hurdling a guy too. I mean,
Yeah. Like I said, he's not going down easy. He's going to make, you ever seen these plays with the one play that stood out for DK Metcalf? He ran a slant into traffic. The quarterback kind of laid him out, and the guy came up to hit DK. The ball wasn't completed, but DK got blindsided and absolutely destroyed the DB. And just to show you how tough the guy is, this
mhm.
kid is comparable, man.
Yeah, they even ran a lot of receiver screens, a lot of bubble screens with him too, which is
Right,
not as easy for a bigger guy.
right.
Again, coming back to the ball, Jonathan Richter says he's really interested to see his 40 time. Uh, no one exactly knows what his 40 time would be, so that is a good call out. But as
Well,
Wayne says, it really does not matter without the pads on.
no, it doesn't. He has game speed. When you could cover that much tracks with how long his legs are, that's game speed that you don't that doesn't you can't see that on a 40 time
Mhm.
what this kid's doing.
Kev
It's-
Chats asks, "Does London compare to Keyshawn?" And maybe the USC connection here brings that up. We need his catch radius to catch Zach's errant passes. Oh, a little backhanded insult there to end the question. What do you
um,
think?
well, if you think Zach Wilson is not accurate, then I don't know what to tell you. Go back and watch the film. Watch the film when he's getting any kind of protection.
The thing
Exactly.
is, and I said this early in the year when he was in his funk, he's a really accurate quarterback. It's just he was not getting the protection, number one, and number two, he was just fouled up mentally.
Well,
And there's a difference between being fouled up mentally and being inaccurate.
you got to understand something. He was running for his life the first 5, 6 games, and there's plays that I understand that the fans might understand where it looks like an errant throw that's picked off like an easy interception, not realizing that the receiver ran the wrong route or fell down. If you go back and look at the film, so for anybody to think the kid's not accurate, it's not the case. But you certainly could use a guy like this with a wide radius to help a quarterback in case the ball gets away from him a little bit.
Mhm. All right, let's watch this. I wanted to see if it was Yeah, you can't see the coverage, maybe the other angle, but the point is he finds the soft spot perfectly on this play. Let's see the high safety goes right to him. So it's pretty much it's like a cover 2 on his side basically, and he finds that soft spot, the perfect spot. Another wide receiver screen for the audio only people.
What are some of these questions here?
What do we got
Oh,
here?
tomorrow's London's pro day. Okay, so we'll know more tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow's his pro day. Again, coming back for the ball on the sideline, breaking tackles. I think it's my fighting Irish here.
Let's say evening, gents. I always love Jets smashing on football. Jets have lost that over the past seasons. We like to see a nasty fullback on the team. Up until Sanchez, we always had that ground game security. I don't know any potential fullbacks coming out in the draft. That's usually a late draft, late round kind of guy. But yeah, we even have whispers of going after another running back. Kind of running back by committee. But sometimes they have some of these tight ends come out of the backfield. And lead like a pulling guard. Yeah, I want to get back to that. This is what I thought about London. This guy in the red zone is going to be special. And you throw that in with Conklin and Azuma, the two tight ends, they're going to be tough to stop. They will be one of the top red zone teams as far as touchdown completion down there. These are three very good, inside the 10, inside the 20 options.
Watch this route, folks. So it's more of a closer split, and he knows the DB's far outside of him. So what does he have to do? Stem it outside, get even. Watch this route.
He's not
boom.
Yeah, he's not only widening him, he's giving himself room from the safety. That's right. I mean, the route calls for that, but the farther he can widen that guy, the further away he's going to be from the safety over the top. So he's smart.
Right. And he does it late too. It's like a double move instead of a stem, pretty much. Yeah, it's just turns his hips. He's a good route runner for sure.
Kenyon Gallardo wondering if Berrios reached out to me as a guru and master about how to elevate his game further. No, I've never spoken to him, but I'm looking forward to getting into the complex now that the COVID restrictions are lowered. With a chance to maybe go out to camp and see him if he wants to pick my brain. I'm more than happy to help him any way I can. I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah, I think people think of Berrios as Luke Skywalker and you as Yoda these days.
It means I'm the really old guy.
Wisdom, Wayne.
Oh.
All right. Some guy, the guy's name, the username is some guy. Like to hear Wayne's thoughts on the injury to Jameson Williams. How players bounce back from injuries. Can he keep his speed? If so, how long would it be?
Did he have Achilles? That kid with Achilles?
That was going to be my question. For some reason, I can't remember. I think it was an Achilles, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, it's tough that these kids get hurt, and he got hurt in the bowl game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and a lot
in the championship game. It was a knee injury.
Yeah, a lot of these kids decline playing their bowl games because of the risk, but obviously you can't not playing the national championship. But yeah, guys can come back from that. And I saw on social media, videos of him doing like agility stuff and stuff like that, and it looks good. He still has a lot of time before training camp and mini camps, but these the doctors and the medical staffs and all these teams take every precaution. So if that kid's not his rehab's not going well, they won't take him. He'll drop, but from what I see is he'll still should be in the first round.
Yeah, and then someone connected, I can't remember who reported it, someone connected to the Jets having interest in Jameson Williams. But you're going to get a lot of that with a lot of prospects this time of year.
Well, yeah.
Neil, go ahead.
No, he said the knee. Yeah, his knee.
Yeah, it was a knee, ACL. Neil Scancarella says, I remember Wayne walking into Image of Fitness where his dad trained. Wayne always dribbling the basketball. Image of Fitness.
Image of Fitness is a gym in Garfield, New Jersey, where I grew up. And it was actually in a strip mall. And my dad's office was above the gym. So I used to go in there and hang out with him while he lifted. He worked out every day. He was a
Yeah.
professional bodybuilder and Image of Fitness. That's like 30 plus years ago, man. That's when I was a kid, kind of grade school. So that's funny that people will remember that. But yeah, I was always in there dribbling the basketball or doing sit-ups with my dad or something like that. So that was the place to be back in the early 80s, late 70s.
Stephen Engel says, "Tell Wayne I met him in the Freehold Mall about 3 times." Okay, thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, that's that's the place I go all the time. I'm in there. So I get a chance to run in some local fans all the time. I always look forward to that.
Big Green says, "Hope he doesn't jump for every ball." I guess referring to London. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
I don't see any of that. I mean,
Yeah,
I see him coming back to the ball feet planted, so I don't know if they can see the video.
yeah. The Keyshawn, we already went over that. Kenyon Galata, evening, gents. I always love Joe. We already went over that one too. Any other ones here?
Yeah, CD said, "Thanks, Wayne. Guys are running the wrong routes or not being precise early last season." See, they said if you watched the games, not like you have to watch game film, you could tell, what was wrong with the beginning of the season, how where the interceptions were coming from. Some were like bad ones, but some of them like weren't his fault. Um, so I just want to let people know that he's not an inaccurate quarterback.
Right. He's the furthest fit thing from an inaccurate quarterback.
Yeah.
Kev Chatta, side note, Wayne, do you ever relive running over a DB or linebacker, whether it's carrying the ball or block on a crack or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I always tell people, I crave the contact. I miss the contact, most of it. Dude, let me tell you something. I did an appearance a week or so ago at the stadium. Some guy
Mhm.
says to me, the people say stuff to me and they get diarrhea of the mouth and they don't know what they're saying. And I understand they're nervous or they don't know what to say or, not mean spirited. And some guy like honestly says to me, he's like, "I want to ask you a question." He's like, "Do you think you would have had a better career if you were taller?" I'm like, what does that mean? What does that even mean? No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. That doesn't mean I would have had a better career. What are you telling me? Every tall receiver would have a better career because they're taller? It's nonsense. I wouldn't have been the same player if I was any smaller or any taller. So
Yeah,
one of the
something like
stupidest
that.
questions. Yeah, it was just a stupid question, and I let the guy know it.
Yeah.
Without offending him too much, because it was embarrassing. Like the guy, it's like I was just like, no, man. I'm like, I'm happy this size I am, the size I was, and I'll never, wish I was this or that. So no, I would not have had a better career if I was taller. I don't know what sense that made.
See, some people can't wrap their head around the fact that something like that never enters the mind.
Wait a second. No, did I tell you that this guy was about 8 inches shorter than me?
No.
This guy was the size of my 10-year-old son, which makes it worse. I'm like, short guys like us. I'm like, listen, you are like my 10-year-old. I'm like,
Yeah.
and people always say, "Oh, I thought you looked bigger on TV," and I understand that. And then you look small compared to standing next to Jumbo Elliott. Listen, I'm just about 5'10". I'm normal size for a guy, not for being out there. But no, I think it made me what I was. And I enjoy 99.9% of my interaction with the fans. I love hearing
Yep.
stories. I love telling stories. I love everything about it. I'll always love it. I'll never be sick of it. I'll never be sick of signing an autograph or taking a picture. But just sometimes people just come up to me and I'm just like, what is going through these people's minds?
Yeah, I hear you. And hey, listen, we're getting old, right? When you
Yeah,
get old, you shrink a little bit too.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know. So that's my story. I was just like, wow, this is. And I'm driving home. I'm like, did that? Like, what answer did he expect me to say?
yes.
Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
let's get into our baseball picks.
All right. And one quick side note: if my dad's listening, you're not 5'10", buddy. You know,
Who, me?
he keeps saying he always says he's 5'10". My dad,
Yeah,
he's not even close. At
right.
one point, maybe he was 5'9", 5'9.5", but he shrunk to about 5'8".
Yeah.
Just so everyone listening could hear that.
Well, I'm not that old yet, but I'm getting there.
Hey, I've already shrunk an inch. My
Yeah.
posture, I
Yeah.
got one of those uh, the posture correctors. I got to start wearing it more
Right.
because it is just brutal. You know, shrinking an inch is not good.
Right.
Yeah, we're opening day this Thursday. Should have been last week, but we know what happened there. Rob Manfred's trying to destroy baseball, in my opinion. Whether it's intentional or not, who the hell knows? But opening day is this Thursday. Wayne, well, first of all, I know you like both the Yankees and the Mets. I'm kind of the same way, actually. I grew up a diehard Yankees fan, but baseball is one of those sports where my diehard fandom kind of died out. So I kind of like both teams, and I could relate to Mets fans. Did you grow up more of a Yankees fan or a Mets fan? I think Yankees fan, correct?
Yeah, I was a big Yankee fan
Yeah.
growing up, and became more of a Met fan. Just meeting guys, and like I said, I've always said when Willie Randolph became the coach, I started rooting for them a little more. But I always root for New York teams, and I think both of them, the Yankees and the Mets, made some nice moves. The Mets more than the Yankees, so should be hopefully exciting season for both New York teams.
Yeah, the Yankees traded away Gary Sanchez and Urshela, and then the new catcher's injured already, I believe.
Yeah. So
Um, but actually, fantasy. Are you in any fantasy leagues? Or are you going with the daily fantasy starting
no,
Thursday?
just a daily fantasy. Looking forward to Thursday's slate, and I think just paying attention and watching stuff gives you like an advantage the first week or so, because there's no like statistics on what's going on in the year, no trends. So anything you pick up in the preseason kind of helps you.
World Series picks put you on the spot. AL versus NL. Who do you got?
AL versus NL.
Well, who's your World Series pick this year?
I'm gonna go with the Mets to
Mm,
pull through, even though I'm a Met fan, Yankee fan, because it has to be a New York team that I'm rooting for to win, and just the moves they've made. I like that they put the money where their mouths are. So hopefully they come up with a big year. It's been a while.
yeah, Steve Cohen is finally getting the Mets back to big money spenders. You know what? I'm gonna go kind of out of left field. I'm gonna go with the Blue Jays this year.
Okay,
It, Bichette is he's one of the best players in the league. He's on my fantasy team too, but so I got to root for him.
Vlad
And
Jr.
yeah, yeah, and they got some young pitchers. So I'll go with Toronto, bringing us back to the early '90s with all those guys: Roberto Alomar, John Olerud, and
The Joe Carter home run.
Joe Carter. That's right, against Philly in
Yeah.
'93. So that was a hell of a team. One of these days, Toronto will get back there.
All right, and we'll touch on some daily fantasy stuff every week, how we're doing and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So we'll be back next Monday, folks. I think we'll do Garrett Wilson. Like Wayne said, touch on some daily fantasy stuff. Draft is what, in 3 or 4 weeks. So we're
Yeah.
getting there. Um, we're getting there. We'll do Garrett Wilson next week and see if he could rival London. And then maybe if we have enough time, we'll do Burks after that.
Okay.
Whether or not the Jets go receiver at 10 is the big question. Hopefully Thibodeau at 4, or if they go Gardner, that would surprise me. But hey, I wouldn't hate it because Douglas and Salah want to build inside out. The best thing you guys could do for us is go to iTunes and rate and review. Give us a 5-star review at iTunes. Go to jetsxfactor.com. Use discount code 80. Those subscriptions are coming in, flying in, fast and furious. You can get a free Wayne Chrebet signed autograph photo, 8 by 10, correct?
Yeah. And there's a
Yeah,
bunch of options in case you like a particular jersey type that we had a uniform type.
yep. Go to jetsxfactor.com/podcasts/underdog Jets. It's in the menu. Click on podcast in the menu and you'll find it. And until next time, We'll watch some baseball and return Monday. Oh, one more thing. Kansas or UNC tonight?
Kansas is a better team, but like I said, I'm rooting for UNC to pull it off.
Yeah, me too. I got to go Hubert.
Yeah. So, well, thanks everybody for their questions and joining in, and until next week.
All right, Wayne, Jets fans, until next time.